We are Steve and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Howdy.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sizzling Scottsdale, Arizona.
Today, Jill and I talk, well, it's Jill Friday, and she's going to talk about when it's appropriate to get a transaction coordinator and why you need one. Before we get into it, though, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And if you're a Land Academy member, please join us on Discord.
Miles wrote, on my first mailer, almost all of the potential deals I got were for other parcels or land in other counties that were not on my mailer. So I'm having to make new offers, and I'm unsure how to price it because there are no comps. Would you contact an agent in this case? And before you make your new offers, do you get a broker's opinion? It sounds like it sounds like you don't do that, right? Thank you. Okay, so let me back up. So here's what Miles is talking about. I sent out my mailer. The guy calls back and says, I don't want to sell that one, but I've got two over here if you want one. My brother has this. My mom has that. We want to sell whatever. It's that kind of a thing. And you're like, oh, why did this come up? Because I've taught you well, hopefully.
Or you sent some mail out.
Yeah, well, and I have it on my checklist. I always say when my inbound, seller checklist, one of the questions you're asking everybody is, by the way, what else do you have? Because they may have something great and you don't know it. They may say, oh, I have this other agricultural parcel, 2 lots over. I didn't think you'd wanted that one. Like, yeah, I absolutely want that. That one's even better because that comes up. So in this situation, Miles is going, all right, now I need to go back and make new offers. Hold on a moment, Miles. Let me make it easier for you. What I would do instead is say, great, you have what? 10 acres where? Happy to go look for it. How much are you asking? Keep in mind, I need to know, let's talk for a second. You know who I am. I know who you are. I own this sweet little company. It's mine. I pay cash. I close fast. You're staring at my letter for a different property. So with that in mind, how much would you accept? And I could just cash out of that one, 2, or instead of, or whatever. Get a number from them. Last thing I want you to do is to get all excited and go and start spending a day and a half doing research, calling around, getting excited about this other area and this other potential property and what's possible, calling agents, calling brokers and everything, and then coming back and going, okay, here's my number. And the guy says, oh, no. I wouldn't let it go for less than $1 million. You needed to know that before you even did anything. So that's what I want you to do. So let's say now you do this. So you go, okay, what's he said? You know what? All right, Miles, I get it. I know how you roll. I know it's worth way more than this. But you know what? I just want to get rid of this one.
And I like you.
Because I'm never over there. My wife never wanted it. So you know what? I'd let it go for $30,000. You go, okay. Let me give me a date. Let's see, today's Friday. Can I get back to you on Tuesday? Because I know that it's getting late. The county's probably closing soon. I got to make some calls. Can I call you on Tuesday? And where's the best time and what's the best number? Yep, here you go. You can reach me here. Awesome. Now, Miles, now I want you to go look at this. And where do I want you to do? You're like, okay, how do I get the comps? Well, look at all the normal places, number one. Go to also the land selling sites, and see what's going on. It's very hard nowadays to not find anything. And then if you have to, you can kind of back into it too to see, well, and first of all too, if I don't find anything, I'm a little more excited, like, whoa, there's nothing moving in this area.
No comps is good news.
If nothing's been for sale in this area for a while, like, ooh, I'm gonna really stand out. There's something going on here that nobody wants to sell anything.
Or it's all sold.
Yeah, like, oh, this is good. So dig. You'll probably find something. You'll be able, and we could talk more about that that's a whole nother topic, to get in there. But then also too, that is a resource. Lean on somebody. Lean on a pro in the area. When you're on these land selling sites or Zillow, whatever, and you're zeroing in on land, you find an agent or a broker who is moving land in that area. Yeah, I want you to call them and say, hey, this guy's got 10 acres. It's zone agriculture, and it's right on this road. What do you think you could sell this for really fast? Like, I'm not your holdout for retail pricing. Let's move this baby within 30 days. And what's your number? And then there you go. This solved it all. Do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, you're leaps and bounds better at this part of the business than I am. You're beautiful and smart.
Oh, what got into you today?
Today's topic,
Thank
it's
you.
Jill Friday. When to get a transaction coordinator and why. This is the meat of the show. Nothing got into me.
Oh, that's just very sweet of you. It could be make my nose run or my eyes tear up a little bit.
And it is actually Thursday and things are going well.
Okay. Recording day, things are going well. That's good. All right. So this is a big deal. There are a lot of you that have got to the end of what you can accomplish on your own.
This is a very popular topic right now.
Yep. You're like, I can't keep up. I'm only one person. I'm picking the county. I'm scrubbing my own data. I'm sending out the mail. I may or may not be answering my phone calls. Maybe I'm answering phone calls. Great. If not, no matter what, they still come to me through Pat Live or something like that. And now I got to call them back. And then, now I got to manage a transaction. I gotta buy the thing. I gotta get it through escrow. I gotta manage those people. And then I gotta post it for sale. And then I gotta deal with all those calls. I need some help. One of the biggest things is right away, I love this as a first hire because just helping you keep all your properties together in your head. Even having a system like Airtable or Jura or whatever CRM you're using, even your spreadsheet, you're like, my color coding's a mess. I have all these messages. I need some help keeping all this stuff from moving through the pipeline. That's when you need to think about hiring that transaction coordinator. And I want you to think about someone to not only take over the overall big picture, making sure, hey, don't forget, you got to call these people back for this, and this is what's needed here, and this is what's needed here, and everything like that. Like our transaction coordinator, time out for a moment. Do you love that report that I get?
Yeah, I love it.
We get a report every Wednesday.
We just got it, yeah.
That shows inbound, that's like what's coming in on the buy side, what's in escrow right now, and what's posted for sale that's not in escrow to sell yet, kind of thing, and where they are, where the offers are, because all the ones in escrow are in here, either on the acquisition or the sale side. So
could we go get this information in our CRM?
Sure.
Yes, but we're too lazy.
Sure, and it's so nice. It's state, county, APN, one sentence. This is where we are. This is when it's going to close. This is what's happening. Seller is waiting for X, or whatever kind of thing. It's so nice, and I include in that thing too, even our deal funding transactions. So it's one big long page that not only has, because as far as I'm concerned, they're all my deals. I don't need to separate out, in this format, in this report. I don't care who's the person on it. It's still, I'm involved in it. So it's all of our deals. But gosh, I had a glance every Wednesday. I can go, whew, and I can see things moving through the system.
You got to see it moving.
Right. Because when you go into the CRM, you got to sit and go line by line and catch up on what all they are. So anyway, that's a good use for the transaction coordinator too. And that's my point here. They're helping you keep yourself organized. So you need to find a person that can do that. They're very organized. They can handle CRMs. They can communicate with you, and they can handle dealing with your 25 sticky notes or email blasts or however you send them, the Skype messages, like, hey, this guy said yes, get it in escrow, kind of thing. They can handle all that stuff because number one, your life's going to be so much easier when you have that. The second thing is too, if you can find someone that can, and then you might develop that talent, they can start to take some of the other work off of you, like the escrow part. This is why Stephen's always been an advocate up to this point as having a transaction coordinator that has experience in a title company, because they can communicate with those people and they know what they do, and they can really babysit and follow the deals all the way through to get them closed, whether on the buy side or the sell side. That's the next thing.
Here's the good news.
Yeah.
Title companies don't pay very well.
Right.
And so there's a lot of movement in that industry, especially now, and they're overworked, really overworked. So if you're willing to pay well, this type of personality type, vast majority, if not all of them, aren't going to respond to performance-based compensation.
Nope, they're salaried.
They're W-2 salary. And if you offer them a couple $1,000s more a month, they're going to come and work with you if they like you and they believe in you and they see your deal flow and all that. So it's not that hard to find people, but I'll tell you, they, from a personality standpoint in general, they're not going to sell anything for you. That's been my experience. They're not salespeople.
Right.
They're nuts and bolts, just deal doers, and they do paperwork. They fill out forms, and
they're great at that.
And they
love
work
that.
with, and they speak the language of the escrow people that you're actually going to use.
And the county, and getting them recorded. They understand all of that. It's so nice to have that off your plate. This is stuff that someone else can do because they didn't make the deal. You're the pro at that. You're the pro at finding the county, talking to the seller, getting the price you want, closing on the deal on the buy side and the sell side. They're there managing all the nuts and bolts and the paperwork in the middle there. And that's when to get one and why you want one.
We're over this COVID thing now for the most part. And so I would highly recommend that you hire somebody and have them work with you for a while instead of working from home, just so they can see how you're doing. You're on the phone all the time.
It's true.
And
It's
you can
really
see,
beneficial.
and you can check to see with them, do a trial period for sure. Don't hire them. Just say, let's work together for a while and see what happens.
I think that's perfect. They need to get your groove and understand your sticky notes and your chicken scratch and all of that. And eventually, and you'll find, like we have a way now that it took us a while to get our own little communication down. Like there's a way that she needs my notes too that makes sense to her, and it's an easy little tweak for me, and then it's no big deal. And
I've had a transaction coordinator since the 90s. Sometimes multiple transaction coordinators, and I can honestly tell you this: 2 of them were probably any good at all.
It's hard. It's a tough
It's
one.
very, very difficult position to fill. The best case is that you get a family member, a spouse, or maybe your kids are old enough and they're showing any interest, that then you can really season them and train them.
You know, that made me think of.
And there's going to be a huge learning curve.
Here's the downfall of this family member. Let me end on my little story about when I worked for my dad.
Oh no.
Yeah, my dad too thought that was a good idea. And he was going to hire Dear Jill for filing and data entry. Let me tell you how this went. I got an hourly wage and I worked in his sweet office in the back room. And I would go in and do however many hours. It really wasn't a day, and it'd be a few hours a week. And I would get a salary. And then invariably Friday would come along and I didn't have enough money for the weekend because I didn't do enough work. Well, my sweet dad, he was so awesome, Jim DeWitt. I'd say, Dad, can I have an advance on next week,
This
please?
doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to kill it. I promise. There's this concert. Yes, it's probably Depeche Mode, whatever anyway. So Dad would just lovingly give me an advance. So I probably still owe him, a good 8,000 hours of work. Fortunately.
You never worked it off? Like it never caught up?
No.
This is a Jill I know.
Yeah.
If Jill's talking to you, you're being sold something.
I am not.
That's absolutely true.
I am not.
Ask any of the kids.
No. Stop it. Sweetie. But anyway, so that's my end story. So be careful hiring a family member. If they ask for an advance and it's a young teenage girl, don't go there. Because you won't get it back.
How many times have you seen Depeche Mode? Just ballpark.
I don't know.
More than 30?
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to check it out.
10 times since
Because I used to
I've
see
known
him
you.
4 times, like in maybe no, I don't know, more than 30, but I'd see him in LA, twice at Irvine Meadows, because they always seem to do 2 shows, or like they do LA twice, I don't know, Irvine Meadows, then they go down to San Diego. So I'd go to all the shows. Why not? We did that a lot for many bands if we really liked them, like New Order. That was a lot of fun.
As a groupie.
I was. It's kind of funny. Okay. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week, you can find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Next week, join us for another interesting episode, which I have not written the title yet.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. I'll help you. That was good. That's good. You good?
Yeah.
All right. Wrap it up another week. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you find our content valuable, and we really appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please get on over to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and please comment on the shows you love.
We're Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.